Previously on Illusion of Gaia. Well, hello again, and welcome back to Nathan Plays Illusion of Gaia. This is the Illusion of Gaia on the Super Nintendo, and I am Nathan. Where we left off last time, we had found a save point and the ability to turn into Friedan, the Eternal Knight, once again, who's going to help us out of a sticky situation. It was actually just the way forward, which was really nice to find, so let's get right into it. Here we are once again in the dark space. No new powers or anything this time, just the ability to change into the night, but that's already going to be a big deal for us. My beautiful flowing rock hair. Love it. I think I've brought it up every single time so far. So first of all, I had to check out the rest of this area that I had managed to wander into. Friedan does a bunch of extra damage on those rotating head shooter things, which is excellent. So have to be careful though. And I worked my way downward, carefully dodging shots, to get another defense up, as well as to open up a stairway so I wouldn't have to work my way back through the traps, which are now impossible from this side, or impassable, I suppose. There was a doorway there, and I briefly considered not going through it, but I'm glad I did. I came to this ominous statue head, and the wind in the valley plays a melody. The statue seems to be singing. A haunting melody. And one that you'll notice is actually woven into the dungeon music. I've learned the melody of the wind. I am sure that is a useful thing to know. So far I have no reason to know it, but now I do. Checked out my inventory just to confirm that yes, it is in fact there. Melody played by ink and wind. Yeah, look at that. There we go. Equipped it. So these buttons still cause the platforms to fall. And actually this time on the way back there I noticed this skeleton who was apparently another lost explorer seeking the gold ship rather. And then I proceeded to crush his remains with a trap. Whoops. Skip backward a little bit to that platform with the inaccessible head, and killing him opens up a ramp. Sweet. Time to take this guy out for a spin. I briefly tried to see if my charge attack worked, and it didn't, of course. Before heading up to the platform, I'm a little bit of a completionist in some of these areas, so I just have to check out. And we have not a new enemy, but a new behavior for them, which is that they kind of sink into the ground and then rise out of it at inopportune moments. It's rather annoying. Doesn't really make them substantially more difficult. It just kind of makes the fight take more time. Although I did take a hit in that last one from carelessness, I suppose. More flying Inca statue heads. And a health up for my troubles. There we go. Just check out that corner over there. And it's time to head to the next room. Oh, here we have some more of these gold statues, and I was a little bit concerned about that. Mostly because it's such a close quarters area, and I thought the fire might give me a lot of trouble. But first of all, I took care of that thing. I thought I would come back to them, if necessary. Let's see what the deal is first. Quickly opening the map, you'll see they do register as enemies to be defeated in the room, so it's something that I'll need to do, I suppose. But one noticeable difference about these guys is that they are a slightly different color, and they have no flame attack, which I thought was interesting. They just kind of stab uselessly on the spot. They do have one other attack that I think we'll see, not on this one, but the next one. Anyway, they're not as... Friedan does a little bit more damage than you do, and these guys are slightly less difficult to kill. Oh, there it is, the spear toss. That's the one other thing that they can do. So... palette swaps means actually less deadly this time as opposed to more deadly as in most video games. Ramped across there and found one of my old fire-chucking friends, who's still at his old tricks, standing next to a chest, which contained an herb. Or an herb, if you like. Later on, I came across a few of these, but they refused to awaken. I can move them, but getting close to them doesn't really seem to do anything. And I was a bit curious, and then I found, oh, a switch. I wonder what will happen. Of course, it's a trap. And so I had to battle my way back out of that hallway. But I feel like I handled it reasonably well. Kind of hit and fade. And another defense up for my troubles. He runs a little bit funny, I think. Made it back outside to the Larai Cliffs. Cliffs? Not cliffs, there's no T in cliffs. Found my old friends, the Mudmen, as well as the kind of roly-poly pillbug thingies. Handled them. Did some fancy footwork there with appearing to almost get hit and then reflexively spinning around and stabbing them. Actually, it was pure luck. I just kind of was like, whoa. And in taking out this guy in the corner, I got an attack increase as well as a ladder back up to the earlier areas. They are very good, seemingly, about shortcuts to be able to make your way back up and down rather than having to backtrack really, really far. Came across some more slimes here, and further into the room, another button surrounded by statues. Oh goodness, whatever will occur when I press that button. Well, I hit it, ran for cover, because I didn't want to be in the middle of that if they do all happen to be fire ones, which they are. And again, by kind of grouping them up, you're able to do things a lot more efficiently than trying to handle them all on their own, it seems like, as long as you can give yourself a bit of space to back up for their fire attacks. Here we had a couple of Inca heads, and my first instance of, it said 5 HP there, if you noticed. For the first time in the game, an enemy dropped just a little health power-up. Like, not a permanent health power-up, but just a little refill. And so far as I've seen, those stone heads are the only things to do that. Came to that room, but there was another... I had seen another doorway earlier back, and I thought, well, I'll explore that in a second. That looks important, so I just want to see what's in this other doorway. I get choice paralysis when I have, I want to know where both forks go, if I can, before I commit to one. Another save point, and another skeleton with a note about the Incas. They have no written language. They've left their legends in sound. Oh, just like ZZ Top. I've succeeded in deciphering the Incan melody of the wind. Chant in the golden room. Does that mean to play the melody of the wind? Well, I know the melody of the wind. That's me. Went into the save room there to see that... Oh, I can turn back into Will. So I suppose that will be useful because Friedan does not happen to be able to play the flute. He has a sword. Decided to continue my journey. See? I don't have a flute. I had to try it, of course. But choosing not to turn into Will for the moment, I just thought I would explore the rest of the room and make sure I had cleaned this all out. It's nice that the game actually offers you tangible benefits and upgrades for like really cleaning everything out and really exploring everything. So there's a bit of a focus there. And you'll see this is actually the area that I was puzzling over earlier on, which contains a red jewel. Good thing I defeated those roly-poly pillbugs, or else I would have had a real fight on my hands, maybe. Took the opportunity to turn back into Will, and headed back down to that room that I ignored earlier on. I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the save rooms will also refill your health, which is rather nice. Let's return to young Will. Not sure why they keep calling him a young Will, but anyway. So let's skip a bit of walking and get right back to the room. I checked out these pillars on the side a little bit. Nothing really seems to be going on with them. And found, oh, a whole lot of tiles. Well then, let's play this new wind melody. It's so pretty. Or something. Needs a beat, though. Can't really dance to it. It's too bad. When touched by the echo of the flute, the gold block began to glow. Well, there's a lot of those. Which one are we talking? Oh, it's that one right there. Okay, so I'll just do what with this exactly? Try it again? No. Are any of the other ones glowing? No. Try my moving trick? No. Okay, try to do the Psycho Dash. Not helpful. Huh. Corners of the room, nothing. Dash over to the other corner of the room, nothing. Okay, so what has this accomplished for me exactly? Quickly switched over to the Inca statue, but this is not where it goes. And really rather confused at this moment. Let's see, we'll try... Oh, okay, here I briefly forgot how to use the inventory completely and just kind of ran around. We'll try Lola's melody. Nope, nothing. So at this point I decided to run all the way back, turn back into Friedan. Oh, but then the gold block doesn't turn on because I'm not Will. So, super useless. So then I left, ran back, turned to young Will, ran back again, play the flute one more time. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do at this point, but I just thought, well, we'll see. So I stood on the block and kind of thought about what my next move could be. Tried the wind melody one more time, nothing. And just as I was starting to play with the moving maneuver, the door pops open. It turns out you just have to stand there for like a long time, and now I hate everything. But in any case, the way forward was now open. I found myself outside the cliffs once more with another save point ready to save with, I guess. And the ability to turn back into Friedan, which is rather convenient. So I do so. Then I headed back out to see what else I could see. And then I headed back in because I realized that I should save my game, probably. Oh, Gaia, the source of all life, is going to give me some advice. Then I'll fight a huge enemy. Odd word choice. When he suffers damage, rays of light will shoot from his head. If you suffer damage, hide behind him. Oh, okay, well, thanks. Now I head back out. Some quick investigation of the rest of this little grassy area reveals kind of a noticeable point between the pillars there. Decided to equip my Inca statue. Nope, that's not the place for it, but I can see... Oh, look at that. Down and to the right, there's a little bit of a area there. There's these two ladders, and it looks like some slots for statues. So I set it on there. Next, you get Inca Statue B, and it turns out it is important which one goes in which slot, which I think is ridiculous, but anyway. I guess they are slightly different statues. And that sort of crazy sound happens again. I'm not scared. I headed to the special point. The wind picks up and throws me across the gap. Quickly, I was intrigued, so I decided to climb up the ladder and note that it just sort of wraps around so that you can easily get back if you need to. Again, very good about shortcuts, these guys. Let's see what's in the door. Oh, first of all, let's get ready to see what's in the door. I have a feeling it's going to be something big. Yes, this certainly seems ominous. Okay. All right, I'm screwed. Great. So pretty early on, you realize that you can hit the hands. Decide to do that. Meanwhile, he's chucking fireballs and weird diamond things with flames around them. A couple of hits to the hands and they disappear. And then I wasn't sure what. Tried to strike at his head a little bit. That didn't really work out. And then he shakes, and oh, there's those light beams, and I got wrecked. However, because I had extra lives from all the crystals I've been gathering, I'd start right outside the door. Half health, but I didn't have to walk all the way back, I suppose. After a little bit of indecision, tried to run away from my destiny, I decided to use the herb and refill my health. Let's try again. This time, much more efficient on the hands. If you get in quick, you can disable them before they have a chance to start bouncing around and doing anything, so this is good. Then I headed up top preemptively, and I hoped that maybe an opening would come after these light beams are over. But if you're on top, unlike the bottom, there's a little bit of extra space. On top, there's no extra space from those flames. They go back and forth there, and you can't really get around them. So, as you can see, that hurt me pretty badly. I used another herb, which doesn't quite fill you all the way. And after battling and losing more health and not really figuring out the way forward, I gobbled up my last herb, taking the medicine. He regained some of his strength. Hit the hands. Take some more hits. Ah, there's the key. Once the hands are gone, his eyes widen briefly, and then you have an opening to hit him in the face. Unfortunately, this knowledge came much too late, as I once again was wrecked by lasers. Now I'm back here, no lives left, and no herbs left. When I think about it, that place seemed familiar, says Friedan. So this time I decided to go back around, head to the save point, and refill my health, so at least I had a fighting chance at this boss. Take out the hands. Moving efficiently, dodging stuff. The eyes widen, and then it's time to hit. And you can see the health bar in the upper right corner there. Get a few shots in, and then get around back. This time I figured out another thing. As soon as you get back there, you dash to the other side, and you can get away from the flames. You can't exactly stay there, but it's a way of getting away from the lasers and not taking any extra hits. The battle continued. Doing my best to dodge all the attacks that are flying at you. But I got a little bit greedy and a little slow. And lost it one more time. Now that you're out of lives, it kicks you back to the beginning of the area and your Will again. I'm sometimes aware of having fallen in a place I know. Must have been a nightmare, thinks Will. So I reset the game, because I thought, well, I had just saved it before I got here, and now I'm out of herbs, and I don't want to waste them all. Reset the game, load it back up. I had to place the statues again, I realized. First I went there, and I was like, okay, wind. Oh, yeah, that's right. So, place the statues, and this is where I discovered that certain ones go in certain slots, so that was annoying. And the wind tosses me across. Tosses, there we go. Alright, this time I've got lots of herbs, I have experience behind me, I'm ready, I think. Ready to try again, anyway. Success! I did not think I was going to get it in two, I don't know, two sequences or whatever you call that, but somehow that worked out. And when the demon is defeated, you revert back to Will. So I felt pretty good about that victory, I have to say. Still feel good about it. Watching it, it's really nice. You maybe pumped your fist in the air at home. That's appropriate. That's a good thing to do. And now I came to a hole. Jeez, it's like Silent Hill 2 over here. But I guess there's nothing else for it. In we go. Fall, fall, fall. Fall, 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 fall. And where did we end up? It's sparkly. It's the gold ship. Or is it? Because Will's not sure. And he feels like someone's there. Exploring a little further on the gold ship, you find people. Incans, possibly? They seem to think that I am their king. And that I'm much shorter. And that I look nothing like him. And I'm white. I'm the king? More question marks means more uprising. So I kind of walked around, talked to people. This little lady let me know that when I was tired, I could go rest in that bed, so that was cool. Down further at the end of the hallway on this deck is the queen. She's still wearing the ring that I gave her before I mysteriously left, before we were separated by invaders, and she thought nothing else but me. All right. She's happy to see that I'm back, and she's been guarding the mystic statue of the wind that apparently I was awarded by the spirits. It's in the storehouse below, and I can go see for myself. Well, let's go check it out. Headed below. Sure enough, there is a box, and I can watch the ship setting sail from the crow's nest. Well, we'll get there yet. It's a mystic statue. Then you're treated to a brief cutscene where the statue is placed on one of the pillars. So that's what those are for. Turns out I am 1/6 of the way through the game. Not bad. Well, the guy mentioned the crow's nest, so I thought that'd be fun to check out. I did talk to everybody else, but I kind of cut around it because I thought mostly their expressions are just a mixture of surprise and delight that the king has returned. And the ship sets sail. Ooh, graphics. After living in darkness for so long, the brightness is something something. How can invaders destroy a beautiful world such as this? Nice. Well. So I walked around a little bit more. Wasn't quite sure what to do, but eventually I remembered that this girl had told me I could go to sleep here, and so I passed out. Will does a lot of just kind of collapsing unconscious in this game. And I'm back in my old house. Mother? Yep, it's my mom, Shira. She tells me a little bit more about the comet that's approaching. And then she asks me if I think it's lucky or unlucky. Well, I was told that it like cleanses the earth or something, so I picked unlucky. It doesn't seem like a great thing. She says she's always watching over me. And when I wake up, oh geez, it is Silent Hill. But strangely, one of my friends is here, along with Lily, sleeping in this broken down old ship with skeletons around. Apparently I was acting strange and they followed me. Lily protests to the choice of words. Lance makes a decent point. Well, I tried to tell you, Lance. I went to the seaside cave and I talked to everybody and nobody seemed to care that I was leaving. So I left, okay? This is where the Inca were standing. So I'm not sure entirely how they all got here, but it seems we are still at sea outside. You can kind of see through the windows there. Oh, and here's Kara. Oh, good. She made it too. She can't stand anything that disrupts people's peaceful lives. Oh, you must hate yourself. Ooh. Yeah, whatever. The desiccated corpse of the queen is still wearing the ring. It's apparently an extremely valuable artifact, and Kara declares that she wants it, because why not? She's a princess. She could do whatever she wants. Lily freaks out and says she must be cursed. And sure enough, something terrible happens. Thanks, Kara. This is probably your fault. I dashed outside to see what the matter is. Wah! I assume that Wario is out there causing trouble. It's It's Seth. A huge, enormous, giant fish ran into the ship, sob. Seth fell into the water, sob. He was swallowed, gulp, sob. Maybe I'm not the best voice actor ever, I apologize. The fish is back. It's one of those graphical effects that was too expensive to actually animate, I suppose, so they just kind of get by with shaking the ship like crazy. And when I come to... Oh, good. Yay, I'm stuck on a raft with Kara. Woo. Oh, well. Nothing else to do. Let's talk to her. I feel like I'm still a little unsteady. Apparently I was unconscious for more than half a day, after having slept on the ship for who knows how long. And we are adrift at sea. It is a sizable raft, though, so I feel pretty good about that, at least. I decide to go stake out my claim on that other corner of the raft. Hopefully I can just avoid talking to her for the duration of this trip. Fine, I'll talk to her again. She tells me not to be upset, and that I should just enjoy drifting. She wants the meat I brought from the castle. Oh, look, it paid off! Finally, carrying this stuff around. We both have some. It was better than any food we'd ever had. Geez, you've been at sea for like half a day. Maybe it actually really was extremely good meat. I shouldn't talk. Day 2. Kara never gets tired of the fish. I'm tired of the fish. So I'm going to hit them. Stupid fish. Kara's upset about this turn of events. I've got nothing better to do. So I talk to her a whole bunch. I wander around the raft. Time passes. Nothing's happening. I keep trying to hit the fish. I try different songs. Oh, and then Will talks to himself. Time passed slowly with nothing to break the monotony. Kara just stared at the fish all day. Will couldn't stand it. On another note, I briefly had to wonder if this dialogue changes a little bit based on how you act in this scene, but I'm not going to do it again, so maybe I'll look up a guide sometime. Day 4. Little note, notice that my health in the upper left has been steadily diminishing over the course of these days. Something's coming. It's a pot. There was a letter in the jar. The contents read, "We are on a ship on our way to be sold as forced labor in an unknown land. If anyone reads this, please save us. Sam." Sam, wasn't that one of my friends? But it's me who needs to be saved, says Kara. Oh, I'm so starved. And then we get into a debate about the ethics of hunting and killing fish when we're starving to death on a raft. Raw fish gives her the creeps, so that's her argument. And also the fish is fighting to stay alive in its own way. The food chain is not a thing that she has ever heard of. ... Kara didn't say anything all day. Oof. Maybe that's for the best, am I right? Day 7. I'm almost dead. First week. A school of fish. I'd reached the end of my rope. If I didn't eat more, I thought I would starve. So at this point, when I hit the fish, they drop into the raft, and each one of them gives me a little bit of health. So I go crazy with it. At first I was trying to time the hits, and then I just started mashing on the button because that was a lot easier. It's the same button to pick them up and eat them as it is to hit. And you can just stand there. I tried talking to her again, and she apologizes to me for getting into a debate. She'll try to eat the fish. Only in peacetime can you refuse food you don't like. No, I'm pretty sure you can do that whenever. It's just not always wise, but anyway. So I thwack a fish for her, and I leave it there, and she apologizes again. I'm not sure what I should have done differently here. But then all of a sudden she says, oh, she ate some fish. No, really? Nah. Day 12. Stars are beautiful. If I were taller, I could reach them. You idiot. You're not... I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so harsh on Kara. She's probably not had a great education. Her parents seem a little bit strange. She seems to think that the red star, which is obviously the comet, is a lucky star. And she snuggles up to me. Oh, in a bit. Spoilers. Sorry. There we go. Day 18. Now she's making fun of my hair. And Will seems to think that she's made massive strides in terms of her personality. But here come... Maybe a shark? We could be eaten. What should we do? I'll fight them. No, I won't. Nothing happens. I tried the wind melody for some reason. Nothing happened. Will says, let's think about this as though this is a problem to be solved. So I got rather into trying to figure out what I could possibly do in this situation, run around, try and hit them again, play melodies, nothing happens. Briefly charged up my Psycho Dash, but then I thought, what the heck would that do? Try to move them, because that's just my last resort for everything, apparently. And then it turns out it's just another one of those times where time just has to pass. And again, we talk about the ethics of eating animals and such. And then they leave. And the whole episode seems entirely pointless. Drifting. Day 21. Kara talks about how when she was young, she loved sunsets, and now she hates them. Oh, that's so sad, Kara. I don't care. Oh, she sees a beautiful sunrise every morning with me. Blah. Yeah. And Will's like, yeah, same, totally. I just don't know how to say it. Whatever, babe. We're like totes in love. And then he passes out, and I'm like, oh, yes. Finally. That means we're going to skip forward, probably. And we do. In a house. He'll be fine if he takes vitamin C. It's scurvy, a disease caused by a long-term lack of vitamin C. Now, I have to give this game props. I don't think I have ever contracted scurvy in a video game like ever before. That is, if nothing else, extremely unique. So he goes on to describe the effects of scurvy, and it kind of freaks Kara out. She doesn't want to listen to such talk. And he's like, I'm glad you're okay, because only okay people don't like to listen to gross scurvy stories. Apparently we should thank the dog outside for finding the raft. And she wakes me up. What do you want? I'm sleeping. Ugh. Stand on the bed. So maybe the whole episode on the raft was just a horrible dream. We can only hope. This is the south outskirts of Oakton. The city of Phrygia is half a day to the north. If you're looking for your friend, you should look in a big town. Oh yeah, one of my pals was sold into slavery. I should probably fix that. I realized that I can move again, take a dramatic leap off of the bed, and decide to go say hi to the dog. Hello, puppy. Woof woof. And his little tail wags. Oh, he's a good boy. He's a good puppy. I look around this area a little bit to try to find a save point, because at this point in the recording of this, I'm like, I was starting to get a little like, I'm trying to keep these around half an hour, and I'm going over time. Anyway, Kara says she's going to go say goodbye to the dog, or thank you, or something. So I go too. And it turns out the dog's name is Turbo. It's Turbo the dog. Turbo the dog actually appears in every one of these. I mentioned the loose trilogy of games, including this one as the middle one, and Turbo is in each one of them as a slightly different character, but always like that similar-looking dog. From the Diamond Coast, we head straight north to Phrygia. The beautiful city of Phrygia. Oh, it's nice, says Kara. What a great city! She screams at no one in particular. People who live here must have beautiful hearts. That's quite a leap of logic there, Kara, but... A random man wanders up who happens to look exactly like the guy that was taking care of us, but I'm sure it's not. And invites us to a hotel. Kara, get some... Okay, I guess you're a princess, so street smarts are maybe not a thing for you. But probably you shouldn't just go wandering off with the first guy that comes to you in a city. Anyway, I go looking for a save point, and I found Slumtown, which is pretty exciting. We'll ignore those purple-looking cult dudes for now. Nothing here, nothing here. I don't want to get too far away. There must be something around here. That's probably the crystal guy. Make a mental note of him for later. Purple cult dudes. I don't know. At this point, I'm really just kind of hunting around, trying to find a way to sort of gracefully end this recording. Although I am exploring the city a little bit too, I suppose, but I'll get to some of these buildings later. Oh, here's Kara and the mysterious stranger. This is the hotel. Let's go in. Oh boy, more story stuff, but I'll risk it. Maybe there's a save point in the hotel. That makes sense, right? Oh, it's Lily, ladies and gentlemen. We found her again. It's been almost a month since we were separated. That's also kind of a... Games don't often take a big sort of gap of time like that, but this one certainly did. Lance is in the other room, and I should go say hi. But I'm like, if I talk to them, more story stuff is going to happen, and I don't want that. I just want to save the game. So I completely failed to go into that one room. There we go. Nothing there. Not there either. Lots of flowers, though. It's kind of nice, I guess, as hotel lobbies go. Do I want to talk to them? Nope, still no. And at this point, dear reader, I have to make a confession. I went online and I Googled a map of the city. That's right. I punched in Phrygia map, I went to images, and I found the save point that I was looking for. Because really, I just wanted to kind of save it and end this session for today and start recording. I mean, editing, rather. I was recording. So I found it, and I made my way straight there. I might not have found it immediately because it turns out it's in a derelict house in Slumtown back here, just in this random little spot. And there it is. Nothing to transform into, just Gaia. She's going to record what happens. Are you finished? You bet. Then rest a while. So at this point, I will say thank you ever so much for watching yet again, and we will see you next mission.